You all right?
Yeah, I'm good. Just a little hiccup.
All right, let's do it. This is the third ever first episode. All right, let's do it. Oh, shit. This is the third ever. Let's take two. Third ever first episode of Don't Hate Us.
Oh, what? Third first?
Yeah, man. I don't know. I feel like every episode's the first episode.
Yeah, we just have a premiere every week. Brand new. Brought to you. First time exclusive. For the last time only.
Buy one, get one free. No purchase necessary.
Calm down.
Limited.
Where prohibited.
Limited quantity available. While supplies last. This is
COD.
This is a very old George Carlin bit, by the way.
Oh my god.
I don't even know who that is.
It's a boomer born before you were a glint
Yeah.
in your parents' eyes.
Yes, indeed.
So yeah, I'm Mark Money, joined by Mr. Killer.
Metal. Mike.
Pop your mom's baby maker.
Hey. What up, guys?
And we're gonna talk about the video games.
Oh, I love the video games.
It's 10:22 and I'm drinking a big giant cup of coffee.
I have water. Lame.
I have a
Bang.
raspberry vodka lemonade.
It's like level 11 and then neutral. And over there, fucking screeching halt.
Whoa.
But he's the one who's the most prepared over there.
That's true. So,
Yeah.
So let me just open up my Drizzive
okay. Let's see what we're talking about this week, huh?
while this no copyright, chill, lo-fi, hip-hop, public domain music plays.
That I absolutely can't hear.
You'll hear it
But
later.
still groovy.
It's there.
Yeah. Oh, I'm just gonna trust it. Lo-fi.
I hopped into the podcast topic before, and it was currently being edited, and it said like I like men.
That's a strange message.
That's a weird message.
Weird.
Yeah.
So we were
Look at
thinking.
that one.
They drive is haunted? Is that what you're telling me?
So if you're watching this live on Twitch, we try and do this every week around 10 p.m. And maybe if you're watching this on YouTube, that means that I got off my lazy ass and did something about it. But this Saturday, what is the date, by the way? November 30th, 2019, Saturday evening. We're going to try and talk about a new game called No Players Online. Ray tracing coming to Minecraft. Talk a little bit about video game addiction and kind of in line with that, China regulating gamers, giving them like a curfew. There's a new Tony Hawk game that's been leaked or allegedly being worked on. There's actually an update on that one that I read today, where it might be a remaster of the first two games. Not
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've seen that as well.
People are saying that Half-Life Alyx is the reason that the Valve Index has sold out. Somebody got a picture of a PS5 dev kit in the wild. Xbox Scarlet says they're going to release a first-party title every 4 months. And what is this? Fortnite DreamHack cheating. This is breaking news, ladies and gentlemen, if we have time. So yeah, this thing doesn't really have a name yet, but it's just the three of us hanging out, talking bullshit. But before we get into any of that, what have you guys been playing? Not a damn thing.
So aside from your no players online, which I did spend a little time with.
Yeah, Mike, can you turn your mic down a smidge?
Yeah, I got you.
Just a smidge. It's like peeking out.
Testing.
Oh, that's
Testing.
great. That's a beautiful thing.
Beautiful. Yeah. Other than that, just the usual
Overwatch.
The grind on Overwatch.
Yep.
I actually cleaned out a bunch of space in my computer to try and speed it up a little bit because I had like 20 games sitting there doing nothing, waiting for me, just mocking me. So I had to clear some space.
Right on.
But yeah. Other than that, bunch of Super Nintendo.
Word.
Still on that.
Pop.
I've been playing Sea of Thieves,
Oh yeah.
Ooh.
and yeah, on PC on the Games Pass, pretty nice. And then I just said this game to.
Oh wait,
Mike
the
a
Xbox
second
Game
ago.
Pass thing.
Yeah.
Oh, right on. Yeah, I gotta get in
It's
on that.
$1. If you've never signed up on PC before, they have a deal going on right now where it's $1 for 3 months,
Oh yeah.
which is
Damn.
insane.
I'd be losing money
It
to
is
not do
like-
that.
Yeah, it's
You
crazy.
would, really.
I
I think we all would.
but
Right.
I'm
I
going
forgot the other
right
game.
now.
I just started
Knockout.
another game on the Games Pass today, but can't remember. I don't know.
But that's cool. I mean, with Xbox Game Pass, it's probably similar to the Apple Arcade experience, which that's one thing I've been playing is What the Golf still on Apple Arcade. But I got to tell you,
Nice.
I'm playing right now a game that I put down months ago and just picked back up recently. And it was because Pop's recommendation that he strongly urged that I go back to it. And I am fucking in love with God of War, especially since I got to that part today that we were talking about the other time, and I was like, oh man, even though somebody spoiled that great moment in that game for me, it was still like, ooh, this shit is getting... It's very clear what I need from a game. Like, the gameplay's gotta be good always, right? But it really needs to be told. Like, the story needs to be told from a creative person's point of view. Like, The Outer Worlds is such a fun game, and I was having so much fun with it, but I stopped playing it because whenever I have a conversation with somebody, it's just a fixed camera directly on their face, and you can't look around, or like you can't just walk away from them mid-conversation, you know? Like, so if you're gonna restrict me, then just tell me your story. You know, don't give me the choice, just tell me the story. And this one it's a doozy. It's a good game.
Good one.
Oh man, and the
How
game.
about, obviously not to spoil anything, but the build up, like, to the part where you get those things in that game. Like,
Yeah, I mean,
so
no.
good.
Well, look. In all fairness, we should be able to talk about spoilers. Like, I don't want to be spoiled from the game. Mike said he didn't care, but I'm just, as a service to you, I'm not gonna spoil any of this crazy shit because I feel like you will play that game at some point in your life. Like, you gotta play God. Yeah. So, but yeah, I mean, we can talk
Like,
about.
I'll
We all three of us know that it's the Blades of Chaos that we're talking
Yeah.
about, like his main weapon. It's
But like the boat ride to get them
right, exactly.
is so good. Like,
Yeah,
ugh, so fucking good.
yeah, and like the fact that here's another big spoiler. If you really don't want to hear God of War spoilers, then this is not the sentence to listen to. But the fact that Greek gods start showing up in
Yes.
this Nordic setting, it's like, what is happening? Like, they don't explicitly say in the beginning of the game, and I don't know if they're gonna, because I haven't gotten there yet, but they don't say why this Greek god is living in the Norse wilds, you know, like out in this house. It's crazy. It's so good. Anyway, that's what I've been playing. Every fucking free minute that I can get, I'm playing that. So I'm gonna stop this music. That was actually like a perfect time to stop it. So let's start right off with this No Players Online. I played the little bit of it that you watched me stream, but you played a little bit more, Mike.
Yeah.
So go, you can set it up, like, because if you're watching this and you don't know what No Players Online, Mike can explain to you what it is.
So No Players Online is like I guess it's supposed to be more immersive the way that it sets up the game. So it basically puts you in an older version of MS DOS and loads you into these servers that contain a first person shooter capture the flag game. First to 3 wins.
It looks like Quake, like early Quake or
Yeah, that's what I thought of.
Yeah. Yep. Very polygonal, low poly count.
polygonal, please.
Yes, so sorry. Yeah, so first to 3, and there's no players online. You're the only one. And you start playing the game and start capturing the flag and returning it to your base. And as you do so, every time, little things seem to change throughout the scenery. And eventually you run into an entity that basically freezes you in place, takes away all your control. And when it disappears, you can continue playing the game. But before you return the last flag, you're confronted by the entity again, and then someone in the game chat trying to urge you not to place the last flag. And then that's where the mystery of the story, I guess, starts.
Yeah, it's like a creepy throwback first person shooter, weird shit happening like Blair Witch Project, the game, the movie, the game.
Based on the movie.
It's like
based
some,
on the game.
yeah, it's really creepy and weird though. I mean, I was very unsettled playing. I'm not gonna lie, like the fucking horror, like ambiance, kind of scaring you with sound cues type of game.
Yeah.
Like I'm not really into sitting here by myself playing it. That's why streaming it was the only way. And even then, I'm like, now I'm just gonna like jump and scream and look like a fucking bitch on the internet.
Yeah.
But it was pretty fun.
It has a lot
Titan,
of-
welcome to the stream, by the way. That's not a spoiler. Everybody knows that. Go ahead, go on.
So when I watched you do it, you went through the steps that I did. The first 3 flags, don't place the third, exit the game. You rejoin a new server. And then when you start that one up, you do the same process over again, but on the third, he confronts you and says, "Why are you here again?" And then he joins the game as a giant eyeball in the sky.
Right.
And you took shots at the eyeball, but if you do actually hit it,
Oh,
if
really?
you use the wall underneath to line up your shots, you can shoot it. And when you do, you get a strange cutscene with no sound. And it's just like a wall or a blank white piece of canvas or something, and a hand with a pencil. It just scribbles up and down like this until it goes off the end of the wall. And then it kicks you from the server and wipes it clean. All the servers are gone again.
And you have to put
I'm
in
not really sure.
and you have to put in the Konami code again.
Right. To keep going to try and do it again. And then there was something to do with the 100% save file, which I didn't get to work myself. But apparently, if you load in with that 100% save file or something, you can change some number. I forget what the fuck it was. There's a code that you get, and you can drop through that center pit of the floor
Yeah.
in that middle area that we were in.
Mm-hmm.
And when you go down there, there's another level below it with a machine that has like the last flag in it that's in a force field. And you have to enter a code into that to get the last flag.
Okay, so it looks like the creator of this thing got a little like carried away with the secrets and shit.
Right. So it seems like another one of those games that you're like supposed to be able to look through more of the code of the game and understand what's going on behind the scenes to really figure out what you're supposed to be doing in the game.
Yeah.
Just kind of cool. Like some of the like little things makes me think of the things they hide in the Five Nights at Freddy's games, things like that, where you like there's a piece of wall that you can punch in like a numerical pad to enter a number to enter, some mini games or that lead you to the real story of everything.
I didn't.
So-
I didn't get a chance to play this.
Did
but
you
when
did you watch any videos?
Yeah, so I wanted to know what it was about, so I went to YouTube and looked up a playthrough. But when I just YouTubed the name of the game, I got probably 20 results of how to get all the secrets in this game, how to get all of the endings, all that type of stuff. So it definitely seems like it's that type of game where it's you could play it 30 times and get different outcomes every time you play it.
Yeah, so I think what the cool part about this game is that it's putting it out there that you can still do new and exciting things with an IP and not be bound to the same old formula, right? That's kind of like a fresh take. It's kind of been done before in many ways, but this dude, whoever created this thing, compiled them together in a way that hasn't really been seen before. At least, I'm trying to think what I could compare that to. And I think of the Matrix game, Enter the Matrix on PS2 and GameCube and Xbox. Because that game had a whole, hacking section where it was just, a black screen with blinking green text. And then you could, put in actual computer terms, hacker terms, and you're not changing the code, but it's it's making things different for when you go play the actual game, so it was breaking the fourth wall in a way where it's this is real, but you're playing the Matrix was based off of a simulation, right? This guy, when he's talking in No Players Online, he's oh yeah, I'm trying to free my wife's soul, so that's why I created this game. And I don't know, it makes this cheesy old graphics looking game feel more part of a real world,
Right.
I don't know, you could do go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say to kind of go off of that. I read because like I said, I didn't play it, so I YouTubed it and I read a article that kind of summed up the game. And in that article, they did a really good comparison to and I don't know this personally because I just got a PC a couple years ago, but they said that the game does a really good job of getting that feeling of what it was like to be in a early PC first person shooter environment where it's you join a lobby and you're waiting for people to you're in a pregame lobby and you're waiting for people to join, and then somebody joins and all of a sudden you get this weird tense pressure of oh, I can't just run around this map anymore, somebody else is in here, and the comparisons there were really cool to see how the game kind of plays off that with what you were saying about taking a older idea and having a unique spin to it. It's when put in that frame, it's really cool to see all the comparisons of back then you could do this and then they took that idea and made it scary, or stuff like that. It's really interesting.
Yeah,
it's a lobby now is a big bus floating in a sky on balloons, right?
Yeah, or
that's it.
I'm just gonna run around, pick up a gun and start shooting everything I see or whatever.
Right.
So to wrap it up, this game was called No Players Online. It's kind of like an indie project made by one dude, I think, and you can go download it for free. I'm sure if you just search No Players Online, then you'll find it.
That's all I did.
Yeah, it came up when I looked
Yeah, and it's weird. It's a fun little experience though. So it's if you like to play a lot of games, or you like to at least collect a lot of games, whether you play them or not, here's a chance to get another one for nothing. Super Black Friday deal. I gotta, before we move on though, I have to ask Pop, where's your black and white flannel shirt? You didn't get the memo?
No, I didn't. I'm in Florida. I don't own anything flannel.
It looks like me and Mike called each other before this.
Yeah.
That's right.
I'm not changing.
I thought it was in the Google Notes.
Oh,
I
no.
thought that was part of it.
Do you have a gray shirt underneath too?
I do.
That's fucking
Well, mine-
hilarious.
This is
Mine
planned.
says,
No joke. I've been wearing this all day.
All right.
We're just like Ice Cube.
Yes, exactly.
All right. So speaking of things that nobody gives a shit about, ray tracing is coming to Minecraft apparently.
And it looks beautiful.
It actually really does look good. But I mean, ray tracing, if you don't know, is just it's a way that it's kind of like a rendering mode that will diffuse light in a realistic way. So like where like if you use a shader in game graphics during your rendering, this is I don't really know what the hell I'm talking about, but shaders will reflect like the information that is immediately around them, like so it'll render the reflections of your object in relation to what the rest of that area can see, whereas ray tracing will do it in a more realistic way where it'll take the entire environment and bounce light off of everything, so the object that you're looking at will have a reflection that represents that more accurately. And so now you're putting this into a game about like that uses graphics
Squares.
that are like, cubes, but still.
Oh, sorry. Yes.
But I mean, you would think, it doesn't need that, but it does make it much more pleasing to look at. Hey,
It does.
Herb Ferguson.
Even
What's good?
like even as
Oh
huge,
shit, Herb Ferguson subscribed at tier 1. Thanks,
Coming in
man.
with a sub.
Appreciate that.
Oh shit.
Hey-oh, you can use those Mark Money emotes now. This thing, if we keep doing it, it's gonna have its own channel soon. Just it's my part-time job.
Part-time, full-time, part-time.
Yeah, I get paid $0.0.
Ooh, can't argue with that. How are the benefits?
None.
Excellent. That's what I
Um,
like to hear.
What do you guys? Are you guys excited about ray tracing in Minecraft?
I mean, Minecraft specifically?
Yes.
Um,
That's what we're talking about here.
I mean, it's cool. I mean, I'm excited to see what else they do with it, like further down, like how far they can actually push this.
Well, so okay, ray tracing in general. Are you willing to, like, the next time you build a computer or buy a computer, are you willing to expend that processing power, that rendering capability, just to get more realistic lighting at the expense of like performance? Because I feel like with Minecraft it doesn't matter because the performance it
That's
does.
true.
Yeah. So
So I've actually heard like that ray tracing in some ways helps performance. That like it helps like load things in better and more efficiently and stuff. That's what they were talking about with like Mark Cerny when he was talking about the PS5 and how it was going to have ray tracing. Like they were big on like how ray tracing isn't just it makes everything look better. It also helps like performance of games. So I don't know if that's like a PS5 specific thing or
well, that's the thing. I mean,
just in
PS5
general,
like
but-
the computing processes are going to be so like specific to what they're supposed to be doing, like whereas on a PC you can kind of allocate that stuff yourself. Like I've never overclocked a processor in my life, but I feel like that's a good way to squeeze some more juice out of your computer. You're not overclocking your PS5. Well,
Right.
as far as we know.
Well, you could.
Well, yeah, anything's possible. Yeah.
I'm not like too excited for this though. There's already like really good. I actually play Minecraft like a bit here and there, and there's like pretty crazy like shader packs and texture packs that you can get now that make the game look 10 times better than it already does. So like, I'm not like super excited for it, but it's cool.
I
It's cool that
remember
they're doing it.
I remember playing NCAA 97 on original PlayStation and being like, graphics aren't getting better than this. Gran Turismo 2, I was like, holy shit, you could see the light.
God.
You could see the light reflecting off the windshield.
I know. Those cars were stunning.
Let's see what these guys are talking about. James is probably
it's-
excited about Minecraft shaders or
I mean, Minecraft this good looking? What kid isn't going to be excited?
It
I
is.
don't know. You think it's an excuse to get people to play again? You think something like this is going to get people that were into Minecraft and got out of it back into Minecraft?
It's gonna get people talking about it, and that I think will get some people playing again. But like, wasn't World of Warcraft a phenomenon, and then like it went away and came back, and everybody was like, "Oh my god!" And now nobody cares again already.
Do people not care again already?
Yeah.
I mean,
No, we don't. We don't care.
no. I mean, I never cared, but
My
I
dad.
tried it.
My dad called me one. This was before I collected games. I mean, I was always into them, but he called me up one day. He's like, "Yeah, I just came back from a computer show. I built this computer, and now I'm playing World of Warcraft, and I'm addicted to it." And I'm like, "What?" I didn't even know what World of Warcraft was at the time, and I went and checked it out, and I was like, he was like showing me this game and how you mine for stuff, and I'm just like, cool. Like, what's the point? And he's like, it's an RPG, and I'm just going, awesome. I was just like, I wasn't that
what's
into it.
the point? Right.
Super grindy.
Yeah. Like, we already covered
But-
that though. I need story.
Yeah.
I need good juicy story. But this is actually a good segue, right? Speaking of World of Warcraft,
All right.
there's
here we go.
there's an article, and this article is from, what is this? Technologyreview.com. Oh, MIT's website, technologyreview.com, about video game addiction. And I'm not going to get into this whole article. It's a 3,300 word essay, but I mean, I don't think that there's much debate about whether or not you can be addicted to a video game. You could be addicted to anything. You guys all agree on that?
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Yep, absolutely.
And I think that, if you start exhibiting those signs of addiction, where you're like lying about playing video games, or you're like calling out of work to play video games, or getting 2 hours of sleep because you're only playing video games. I mean, we all have done it, I feel like.
Oh yeah, we've done it.
But if it's every single, and it starts affecting your life, I mean,
Yeah, your life, your work, your
Yeah.
responsibilities,
yeah, you gotta.
then it's a problem.
It's all about balance, just like everything. And the good example, I used to smoke cigarettes when I did. That was I didn't even think about it. I just would light one up every 20 minutes or so, all day while I was awake. And I feel like somebody who's addicted to video games, it's similar in that they'll start playing a game and just go, yeah, one more match, or one more level up or some shit. And then the next thing you know, they look at the clock and the sun's coming up. Like, what happened?
Been there.
Right. But
So the question is, do we battle this by putting limits on video games? Like China is suggesting that they're gonna do.
it was actually,
It's a suggestion.
They-
they're enforcing. it,
yeah,
right?
they're doing it.
did they?
I think so.
Dumb.
Yeah,
And
I'm
they're
pretty sure they're-
so I mean, that's how it works with a communist regime. They're just like, hey, if you're under 18, I'm trying to remember the article without looking, but it was, you can play for 90 minutes a day during
On
the week
weekdays.
on weekdays, and 3 hours on weekends and holidays. But
and no after 10 p.m.
and there's
on
a
weekdays.
right, and
It's
there's
like-
and there's a restriction as to how much money you can spend on gaming per month based on your age. So the younger you are, the less you're allowed to spend. And I don't know if that goes for software or just in-game purchases. But, I mean, when all's said and done, I don't think that the regulations, I don't think that's a bad rule set to follow. Like we're talking about video game addiction. If you want to play that much, you set those limits for yourself. I think that sounds reasonable. But if you're I understand it's kids, but that doesn't need to be up to the government. That should be up to the kids' parents, right? I mean,
Absolutely.
and even if it shouldn't be up left up to the kids, but like say they got shitty parents, so the parents just let them
Okay.
play games for 10 hours a day. Like, even if it shouldn't be left up to the kids' parents, it's like, are you imposing these rules because you care about these children? Is that what you're, because, you hear the word communism and it's like all scary and shit, and China hasn't been done like, they don't have the greatest track record, but it's like, what is your goal? Are you trying to like enhance these kids' future? Because video games can enhance a kid's future if appropriated in the right way.
Absolutely.
So you're kind of like holding them back from this one potential opportunity.
Does that mean that video games are still being stereotyped as nothing more than a game,
I feel
as a
like
waste of time, as a childish hobby? Is that what's leading us to this need for a cap or a limit?
I
Because
kind
if
of
you
feel
like went the other way with it and took a child that showed, great potential at a young age playing video games and further encouraged it and coached it and molded it to be a esport competitor.
I mean,
I mean,
to be fair, nobody knew what an esport competitor was when we were kids.
true.
But you remember, it was actually they got for those who didn't know, my broadcast location is Connecticut, and it was our own representative. Why can't I think of his stupid ass name?
Lieberman?
Yeah, Joe Lieberman was like,
Lieberman.
he was leading the fight that led to the ESRB, which, okay, you want to put a rating on a game like you do with a movie,
Yep.
whatever. But this guy was like, saying that Mortal Kombat was the cause of like,
Violence in video games causes violence in real life. The correlation is there.
it's like, then stop showing movies, motherfucker. Like, how are you gonna even? What is your case? Get rid of books.
Yeah.
You want to have a book burn? This guy want to have a real live book burning, except
Yes.
with video games.
We're going to the South with Harry Potter. We're burning all the books.
If this, yeah, if these books don't teach you about the good word of my God that I like, then throw it in the fire.
Throw it in the fire.
That's basically.
We will not have that blasphemy.
I feel like even going back to the last topic about the addiction, like I kind of feel like these go hand in hand with like the people like making like these like laws or regulations, and then making like, oh, this is a clinical disorder or whatever. Like, these are people I feel like that are like, they don't understand what video games are because they haven't been around that long. Like, it's like, I don't know, video games as like a media is like a pretty young thing.
Right.
Compared to like movies and books and plays and art, like all kinds of stuff. It's hasn't been around for that long.
Yeah. Versus
even
the
in that
people who are
article-
trying to make these rules.
Yeah,
you know.
exactly. Like the people that are trying to make them. Like, I think about like this past year, there was like the one like Prince dude from England. I don't know his name. But like he came out and said something about how he didn't understand why kids should be playing video games because it's dumb and pointless. And it was just like such a like obvious like uneducated, like, that's just because you never played video games before. Like,
Right.
And I feel like that's most of these situations is like the people coming up with this stuff. I don't think they've ever like sat down and like, what is so compelling about these things?
Right.
So I think that's why you get in these situations where it's like, what's the like, especially the China thing about the times and stuff. It's like it's just like I don't understand this, and I think I want to control it. So I'm going to put this regulation in place because I don't understand this thing, and I want to have power here. Like, I feel like that's what it is more than this is helping or hurting kids.
Right. And that leads me back to my question is like, what is the real reason for this? And I think it's because, you could see I mean, maybe this is speculation, but maybe, you see these kids, some of these kids are 15, 16, 17 years old, and they're actually generating a decent amount of revenue on Twitch or YouTube, and somebody sees this and goes, wait a minute, we're not getting any of that. We're not seeing any of that money. Like, we need to get some of that.
Like, Fortnite has been a big like thing of like the pushing like younger kids into like playing in tournaments and things like that. Like the kid who won the like Fortnite World Cup was like 16. He won like $3 million. It's like, you know, I think that brought a lot of attention to like kids can make money doing this. Like, this is a legitimate thing that they can do. So it's kind of like, I don't know, it's backwards thinking too. It's very boomerish.
But
video games are bad.
Yeah. I think even before the streaming like phenomena, though, video games are a multi-billion-dollar industry every single year. It's just so much money, and I think if you want to tackle the real problems, you need to stop. I think it's nothing that the government is going to impose. I think what we need to do is stop bitching about release dates and rushing developers to give us the next best thing, and let them actually have time to create, right? But again, who's barking orders at the top of those chains? It's the guys sitting on a board like, oh, how much money are we making this year? You know, tell us now. And like that ruins it. So I don't know, they crank out all this shit, and every once in a while you get something amazing, and that's like why we do this, you know, still. So I feel bad for these kids, because they're you know, their government is being like, well, you have fun doing this, but you can't do it that much. Like, I don't know, man. Chill the fuck out. Stop being so... You guys are just being lame over there. Like, the kid who's playing games online with his friends across the world is not trying to take money out of the Chinese government's pockets. You know, he's just trying to play a game. So, like, just... I don't know. Just unplug your fucking console and don't play online, and then the government's not going to tell you shit, you know. So unfortunately you can't play your online games, but at least you could still play.
I did want to bring up one more thing before we move off this, like,
go ahead, man.
Because especially like I actually had like a lot about the video game addiction thing, because this article is like, it's well written, but like it's so it's well written, but it's also terrible. Like, because the examples that they use are so that it's like, here's a guy who is like has pre-existing addiction problems, and now he's addicted to video games. Like, well, that's not like a really good comparison there, because you're saying he's addicted to things before that, right? But the one that really got me was I don't remember the guy's name. It's towards the bottom, but it's the one where he was in college, and it said that like he was 2 years into college and his GPA was like a 2.0 because he was spending all of his time playing video games, and then he decided to become a monk for like 7 years, and he like realized that video games weren't a problem, but they were holding him back from becoming a doctor. And then like he started this whole organization to like help other people. And the example that he used was like he said that he felt bad because even though he was able to realize that he had a problem and get past it, that he was seeing his friends that were 28, 29 years old, didn't have a job, still living at their parents' house, no money. And that was the example he used. And it's like, I just like couldn't help but think, but like, isn't that the parents' fault? Like, why are they letting this 27, 28, 29-year-old live at home with no job? Like, that's their fault. Like, it boils down to like the parents, and it's kind of what you said, like it should be the parents' decision of like whether or not their kids should be able to play and how long they should be able to play. And I don't know, that really stuck out to me, that line of like, yeah, my friends 28, 29 years old have no job, living at home, playing video games all day. It's like, okay, well, like, why don't their parents kick them out or something?
You know,
I instead of enable them.
And I'm not trying to, nice.
Thank you.
I'm not ripping off anybody over here, but I do listen to the Kind of Funny podcast when I can, and Greg Miller always talks about the vocal minority, right? And that's the kid who's sitting at home playing video games, not getting violent, not shooting up his school, not fucking doing any of this bullshit. you don't ever hear from him or her,
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
Those kids who are just doing the right thing, they just do. They don't go on the internet and be like, "Hey, I just played games all day quietly in my room and didn't hurt anybody or myself," right? They don't tweet that. But the guy who's like,
Right.
"Oh, I just got off a 15-hour Call of Duty tear and I'm fucking pissed because I kept losing, so now I'm gonna go get some real guns and fucking go shoot them off at a mall." Like, yeah, okay. So that you're gonna blame video games for that, kid? Give me a fucking break.
No.
Oh
No.
we found in his room he had 17 copies of different Call of Duty games. It's like, yeah, that's because that's what a crazy little bastard like that would spend his money on.
Yep.
He just wanted practice. It's not the game that did that to him. He was just using the game for nefarious purposes. For 17 years in a row. Same
Yeah.
damn game. That and
Well, you know, when they put it out every year.
so why don't we blame the video game companies? Oh wait, no, we barked up that tree once before. You can't blame them.
Yeah.
Well, otherwise, you got to blame the movies and the books and the TV shows
And the songs and
and this. Yep, and you can't because
Everything.
that's art.
yeah.
I think
It
that's
is.
go ahead.
And that's like a good comparison too of like it's like how you started off this conversation, because I didn't know where you guys were gonna like stand with this. I kind of assumed that we'd all be in agreement, but I wasn't 100% sure. But it's like, yeah, like you can make that correlation to like literally any form of art. Like if somebody likes photography and they spend $2,000 on a camera and all they're doing is taking pictures all day, like
Yeah, nobody
are they
cares.
addicted? Like
Yeah,
well,
nobody
you know what I mean?
cares
Like,
when you're addicted to photography.
yeah, it's just
Yeah.
like I feel like it's just this like video games are this easy like thing to target, especially when the people that are like making decisions and stuff don't understand it because it wasn't around when they were like young enough to be into it, you know?
And that's the thing. I mean, if laws are really made by men and women in this country or anywhere in the world, then, you know, the next generation is working its way in there slowly but surely.
Yeah,
And the younger generation, like, think about it. There's a whole generation of young kids out there who are just like, what? Video games? Nah, I play apps. If that's
Yeah.
what you're talking about. I play apps. So, you know, video games might be the new Betamax. No, they won't be the new Betamax, but they might be the new, like, vinyl record.
Yeah.
You know.
It's
We
gonna be
liked,
popular again in 30 years.
yeah, we liked these when they were cool.
Yeah.
But like I said, you know, there's a lot of video games that are uncool. But yeah, every once in a while you get a good one. And, you know, that's,
Ooh, fun sidetrack on that.
Go ahead.
Do you think that's what brought the popularity rise of indie games? Is that the pressure from big companies, you know, that started producing lower quality games, and then you get these gems that come out from small companies? I think that's what brought on the rise.
what I really think about that is just like anything else. Like, think about before YouTube was a thing, right? You would maybe go on the internet and find some amazing video, right, that you would show to all your friends and it would become viral. But then when
Right.
YouTube becomes a thing, like, so many more people have access to that. And I think it's great because now it's like it almost it's representative of a true democracy. And not to get political, but they say we live in a democracy, but it's really a war that's being fought by two sides constantly. Like a true democracy, everybody's got a voice, and like these indie developers is kind of like giving the, you know, people closer. Like there's a divide between the big game companies and the end user, and like somewhere in here you've got somebody bridging that gap and being like, well, this is actually more in line with what the consumer really wants, right? And I'm
Right.
off. So it's got not as wide of an audience, but a more dedicated, like a smaller but more dedicated audience. Whereas like, you know, EA coming out with the next piece of shit every year. Well, not this Fallen Order
Trying
game.
to hit everybody.
Right. This Star Wars game is one of the ones that seems like it's doing it, though, because everybody
Yeah.
loves it.
Right. They just shoot their load and hope to cover the whole world.
Herb Ferguson says indie games fill the gap between the AAA games, which take longer and longer to make. Good point. And Titan says, yes, the boomer gargoyles who control the gaming industry. Perched on their skyscrapers.
I also think indie games fill that gap of like, I don't have $60 to spend on a game. I have 10.
Mm.
Now I have options, right?
Right.
Yeah, I mean, there was definitely a market. There was a hole to fill, and it's been, I don't know, it's kind of oversaturated now. Like, there's so many games. It's like, oh, look I have 8-bit graphics, and it's like this Metroidvania. Like, it looks really cool. It's very nostalgic.
Oh my God. That sounds so original.
And then you play it, and it's like, okay, well, you made it look like an old game, but then you also only programmed 2 face buttons, and like you got 2 moves, and this doesn't hold up in 2019. There's a million games.
Right.
Like, I don't know, like you could name a ton of them.
But I also think too, like, not to get too crazy sidetracked, but like,
No,
it's
we're
also,
getting
like,
crazy.
Getting to the point, yeah,
Let's go.
it's getting to the point where like
Let's get
it's
weird.
harder- yeah, all right. No, it's getting to the point where it's harder to like even distinguish like indie games from like AAA games. Like Cuphead is an indie game, but No Man's Sky is an indie game. But that got
True.
pushed like a AAA, like Sony's next big
Yeah,
thing. It's like,
yeah.
those are indie games.
It's a good one. Angry Video Game Nerd Adventures. If you like a challenge, I endorse it. All right, you want to move on
Yeah.
and
What else
talk
we got?
about the Tony Hawk thing, which
Ooh. Loves me some Tony Hawk. Oh.
so it was originally confirmed on the podcast.
All right, before we get too deep into it, what's
Yeah.
everybody's favorite Tony Hawk game?
I like Underground 2. Tony Hawk's
What about you,
Underground
Bob?
2. He likes the one for the Wii where you stand on the skateboard.
Yeah, or Tony Hawk Ride.
Ride. Yeah.
Ride.
Um,
That's it. Nice.
No, I actually think my favorite is probably American Wasteland.
Oh, that was
Interesting.
No load screens was like astonishing at the time.
I only played
Yeah.
that because I ended up with a copy of it during my collecting time and was like, oh, I never played this one. Let's pop it in. And I played it, and then I was like, okay, I played it, and I didn't really.
Yeah.
It was like, oh, kickflip over the bum. I was like, oh, I remember this. Okay.
Yep. Yeah. I think mine has to be Tony Hawk 2. I
Tony
think
Hawk
was
2.
the most fun that I ever had with the Tony Hawk game.
I would say
Yeah.
Tony Hawk 2 was the most impactful Tony Hawk. Because
Yeah, I
no,
think that's
it's tough because the first one blew my fucking brain into liquid shit.
Right? But the second one just gave you more locations, better locations.
I feel like the original Tony Hawk was the definitive thing you could say if you were having that like Nintendo 64 versus Sony PlayStation argument.
yeah.
Because I feel so bad for the kids who had to play that on 64 with the music was just no vocals and a shitty loop.
Yep. Yes, it was. And it was awesome.
You got fucking Primus. Oh wait, you had it on N64?
Of course I did.
Oh man.
Oh yeah, dude. That's what I'm talking about. Using C buttons to pull tricks.
That was
That's the
actually.
way
I mean,
it's
the
done.
controller wasn't bad.
No?
It was
Wasn't?
one of the cool games. I was like, oh, cool. You can hold the D-pad too. Tony Hawk 3 was good. I mean, what's crazy? Tony Hawk 4 was like huge on PS2, but it's also on PS1. Tony Hawk 4 was
I
on
didn't-
PS1.
Yeah, I played it on PS2.
Wasn't that one of those games that like bridged the gap between the generations? Like they did that with all the sports games and stuff too. You'd get it like for the PlayStation 1 and the PlayStation 2
Yeah.
and the Dreamcast and the
That could be a topic all its own. I mean, think about Grand Theft Auto 5. That started on PS3 and Xbox 360.
Yeah.
Yep.
It doesn't
Wow.
even seem like that. Like it seems
Yeah.
like a
Where you
PS4,
had to-
Xbox One game, PC game.
Yeah. The 360 one, anyway, you had to load an entire disk of data
But-
onto the hard drive.
I wouldn't be
and then
surprised
play
if
the second one.
I wouldn't be surprised if they come out with a version for the next generation of consoles, because you know that we're not getting Grand Theft Auto 6 so long as they keep making money
I
on
almost-
Grand Theft Auto Online.
I almost threw that into the topics. Grand Theft Auto 6 job postings
Oh.
leaked.
I hate those stories. It's like, oh, big
Yeah.
deal. They're fucking working on it.
Yeah,
Wow, shocker. When it comes out in 2 years, it's not like they fucking just started 3 weeks ago.
But I think last week I brought up when we talked about Grand Theft Auto last week or 2 weeks ago, whenever it was, in the like top games of the last 10 years. It's like, and I said that it always shows up in like the top 10 sold games every month.
Yeah.
And I saw like a couple days later they put out the like October numbers, and it was like number 7. Just
Yep, still up
always
there.
Just
top
still
10
just
every
crushing
month.
it. I almost bought it again on PC because it was on crazy sale on Steam.
Yep.
Yeah.
I
And
tried.
it's stuff like that that pushes out all the numbers. You know,
Yeah.
put it on crazy sale. How much was it up on Steam?
I don't know. It was
Was it
like 20.
under 10 bucks?
Yeah, it was something
I feel
ridiculous.
like it was like really low.
But
I
here's
saw
the
it
other
on
thing,
Vine as
though,
well.
that's not considered. Yeah, you might be getting. I mean, do they count sales from like GameStop when somebody buys it used?
that I
that
don't
was,
know.
That was one thing that I remember about
Because that should count.
Grand
I
Theft Auto 5 was like, because GameStop had something where if you bought the game, you got a certain amount of like whatever the currency is, and so like people were like buying the game just to get the currency, and because it was cheaper to get the currency that way, and then they just go trade the game back into GameStop in that like 7 week
Nice.
period. So like that was a while there,
Smart.
like boosting the sales, but it's still crazy that game's like
But think about all the
7, 8
sales.
years old.
Think about how many people bought that game, not even from a store. They just bought it from somebody selling their shit.
Yeah.
You know, they're not reporting every sale that comes from like a retro game store or like a small
Yeah.
retailer like that, or like
Exactly.
so. It's crazy. Well, we went way off the rails
Way
there,
off,
but
yeah.
but that's okay because we're talking about Tony Hawk, and I feel like it's almost more fun. Like I put in the podcast outline when I first made the Google Drive for this thing that we should do a retro topic every week.
Yeah.
And Tony Hawk, I feel like with the way that it ties into this, because there's not much to be said. Like first, somebody leaked that there's, Tony Hawk's doing a new game.
Yeah,
And
I mean,
then,
or whatever.
yeah, it's that girl Annie something or other. She's a
Yeah.
notable skater. I mean, good enough to be in a Tony Hawk game because she was in the last one, Tony Hawk 5. Which let's not even ever talk about that. Stupid. And
And so then this other in that article, like the original story, like that was part of like the update, and it was also like something that kind of note is that, like I guess Activision or whoever owns the IP, I'm not sure, like they they removed like that part of the podcast or whatever,
right.
which kind of makes it seem like okay, like clearly that was like a mess up. She shouldn't have said that, and then they got rid of it, which kind of just adds onto the fact that like yeah, there's probably something in the works. And then this one guy, I'm not sure if he's a skater or not, like tweeted out that there's a prototype for Pro Skater 1 and 2 in the works, and it could be remasters of both of those games, or it could be for like some type of prototype for a new game. They're not sure, but
So this Twitch show, which we're calling a podcast, which might be on YouTube someday, has no reach. Nobody hears any of it except for our. Oh wow, we got 8 viewers. That's cool.
Woo!
3 of them are us.
Yeah, probably.
Oh, where'd Pop go?
Oh,
Yeah. But Tony Hawk team, if you're listening, if you ever hear this, just remaster it, remake it from the ground up, do whatever you got to do, put whatever levels you want. It'll be fun to play remaster graphics. Just don't fuck with the controls. That's the best part of the game. Like it's an arcade skateboarding game. Don't try to make it realistic. Don't try to be skate. Give us original Tony Hawk controls. Just Like, you ever play or see Thug Pro? It's Tony Hawk's Underground Pro. It's a mod for Tony Hawk. I think you use like Tony Hawk's Underground 2, right? You download that game and then you install this mod. This I'm paraphrasing or embellishing a little bit because I don't know, but this mod is every level from every Tony Hawk game with the controls of Thug 2 and every skater, every secret character, like all that shit.
Yeah.
If they could pull that off, because that's a mod, right? But if they could pull that off with HD graphics, because they did the remaster of the first game with right? You remember that?
Yeah.
And that
it
was
just it was called Tony Hawk HD, I think.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it was cool. I played that for a little bit. Yeah, but they could. I mean, they'll sell a fucking billion copies if they just do it. And I heard this on another podcast. It's the best point to be made. Licensing all that music is the real motherfucker, especially if they know what you're licensing it for. They're like, oh, gonna sell that game that sold fucking tons of copies back when it was new and had our music in it. Yeah, you want that music again? And that's why I'd be like, you know what? Fuck that. Brand new graphics, old school Tony Hawk, modern
New soundtrack.
Whole new soundtrack.
There you go.
Or how
That is
about
a
this?
big part of the game.
Or how about
too.
this?
Soundtrack's got
Play your own music. Play Spotify.
Yeah.
Play your own Spotify channel. Like the music
Yeah,
is
but
not
I
what's
don't
going to
know.
sell that
If
game.
No, it doesn't have to sell the game, but I think if there was an absence of music, you would notice.
Yeah,
You'd be like,
But you
it's a little eerie.
like the whole no, you could put whatever music you want in the game, but it's so easy now to play Spotify on your PS4 or on your computer while you're playing a game.
Right.
And you could just make the playlist from the original games and play them. That's actually, I might make that just to listen to while I'm working.
There you go.
The one thing I do kind of hope if they do remaster 1 and 2 is give me a multiplayer mode.
Oh, online multiplayer is a must.
That's the one kind of disappointing. I don't even remember the game now. The one that I was telling you about a while ago, Mark. It's on PC, but it doesn't have multiplayer.
Session.
Yeah, sessions, but it doesn't have multiplayer. I just want to.
But it's early access.
Yeah, I know, but it's that's the thing. That it's it makes me not want to play it. I feel like my biggest draw now. Now that there's games with multiplayer, it's it lends itself so well to Tony Hawk that it's or a skating game in general. It's I want to play a skating game with my friends.
Yeah, that would be super cool if you could join into lobbies like Grand Theft Auto Worlds, but instead they were the levels from Tony Hawk, and you could just free skate around with all the other people in there, in online modes, or challenge people to the trick competitions or the horse or the whatever.
Yeah, exactly.
Hold on one second. I know I can't stop.
You might just have him really loud.
Oh, maybe that's what it is.
Oh, you just got me cranked up.
He sounds normal.
Sorry.
Or same level as you.
All right, we're back. It's fine.
Sorry. I like to go all in on it, you know what I'm saying?
No, you know what? It looks good on the levels, so.
He gets emotional when we talk about Tony Hawk.
Tony Hawk gets to me, man.
I'm just
Well,
I'm just a
inside.
freak when it comes to audio levels. That's been the same since day one.
Yeah.
I know. How's it sound? How's
The
my
number
levels?
one question. How's it
The
sound?
levels is good. The levels is good. The levels is good.
We got good levels. We're not hitting them reds, are we? We don't want to be in the reds.
You guys got anything else on this Tony Hawk shit? Chat, you guys got anything to say about Tony Hawk?
I love Tony Hawk.
Yeah, me too.
That's it.
I hope they do it right.
I love Tony Hawk, the game, and the person.
and
Yeah.
the man.
The Birdman.
I met Tony Hawk at TwitchCon.
Did you
Did
really?
you really?
Yeah.
That's
He
awesome.
was. I think he did I think he was there for TwitchCon for some panel, and then he just so happened to be at like a bar that we went to after the con.
Did you ever see him on top of a skateboard?
I did not. No.
That is half disappointing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't want to see
Still
Tony
cool,
Hawk if he's on his
But not
walking.
quite as cool.
Yeah.
I know.
It was a very like abrupt. Like he was there. There was nobody in the bar. He was there. Then everybody walked in, and he was like, "I'm out." Just immediately left because he didn't want to deal with like everybody coming up to him. So
Here's a fun
When he
fact.
said,
Oh,
I'm
go-
out, did he kick out his Heelys and roll away?
That'd be
Yeah.
great.
Because that's the only way.
he started grinding across the bar top, and then just kickflip through the window and just left. Never to be
Amazing.
seen again.
He grabbed a hidden tape and dipped out.
Yeah.
He was gone.
My bass player in my band looks like almost identical to Tony Hawk. It's pretty weird.
Really?
Yeah. And he has a twin brother, but they actually are kind of easy to tell apart. And he doesn't look like Tony Hawk, his twin brother.
He doesn't.
No.
But his name's Anthony.
No.
That would be
Their names are Rob and Jeff.
Not as cool.
So, moving on. Here's the from TechRadar.com. The costly Valve Index VR is sold out thanks to the Half-Life Alex hype. So
They definitely know how to hype a thing.
do you guys know how much it costs? Because I didn't do that research.
I do not.
thought
I
it was,
didn't
like,
even want
around
to know.
1,000. No.
I think it is $1,000.
Yeah.
But you get the headset, you get the controllers, and you get the little sensors. It looks like. Anybody looking it up?
I can.
Yep.
What's it called?
Valve Index. I'm looking it up.
Well, you looked that up.
Yeah.
Super unprofessional. I gotta go pee real bad.
Oh damn. Taking a break. Taking a pee break.
It's that lemonade. Runs right through you. Every time. So, sold out, huh? Thanks to Half-Life Alex. Good lord.
I'll put some music on until he gets back.
Good call. I dig that pink light he's got, though.
Yeah, it's cool. Oh, there he's back. Never mind.
Dude. 4 flat there. Never ran so fast in my life.
Hey man, it's cool.
I was gonna say, what'd you do? Just step off screen?
So I guess the question is, do you guys think that the majority of the people who buy this thing are now going to continue to play? I mean, they're obviously going to play stuff while they wait for this game to come out, right?
Mm-hmm.
On their Valve Index.
Yeah.
Oh wow, it's got cameras on the front. I've never really seen this thing.
It's supposed to be like. I think that was another like not.
It does mixed
The game
reality
defin-
too.
Yeah, the game definitely had a big part in selling it, but also like, this is by far the most like advanced. Like, if you really wanted to jump into VR and you had the money, like
Yeah.
this was clearly the
Well,
option to go
you
with.
still need the computer, but this is saying here, this is on the Steam website. Due to recent high demand, delivery before December 25th cannot be guaranteed. So, there you go. Yeah, I that's not the game to make. I mean, I got the PSVR because it was the cheap way to play. You know,
Right.
I would love.
For entry level, like I feel like that's the way that you should go. Like nobody knew, a couple of years ago if VR was even going to be a good idea, but everybody was willing to like
Give
put
it,
something out there.
give it the old college try.
Right. So I feel like the PSVR was a good move. Like PlayStation, a well-known brand, offered at a low price, uses hardware you already got in your house, hopefully.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I felt like that was a really good move on their part. And the other ones with the PCs, I mean, with the growing PC gaming culture, like getting bigger and bigger every day, like, I guess that's the other way to do it. You get a powerful enough computer, here, plug this thing into it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But I feel like that PSVR was a great idea.
But also, like, I did the same thing for the PSVR. Like, I bought that because they said Resident Evil 7 was going to be playable in VR. Like, that was the sole reason for me getting it. I ended up playing other games, like, Batman was on launch and stuff. Like, I ended up playing other stuff, but, like, it was for Resident Evil 7.
I honestly was one of those people who wanted to get in for all the shorter experiences, like the cool, like, oh, look what you can do. Look, VR is real now. Come over,
Yep.
Dad. Come over, friends who don't play video games. Like, try this. Let me watch you experience
Let me-
this.
Let me put you in the Shark Tank and submerge you in the water.
Yeah, here, throw up in this if you're feeling sick.
Yeah, exactly.
I forgot what it was called, but the PSVR came with like a
PlayStation Worlds demo.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
And I had my mom do the Shark Tank one.
Did she freak out?
Freaked out. I wish I would have recorded it.
I had my parents come over, my dad and my stepmom, and she was like in a computer chair in my living room, and the shark's like coming up for the tank. She's like backing up like crazy. She backed up out of the chair, like almost up into my lap on the couch. I'm just like filming the whole thing, because I showed my dad. My dad was just kind of like laughing the first time when I showed him. But did you do the street luge one where you lay down on your back and like roll? It's like a skateboard that you lay down on, and you steer with like by turning your head. Mm-hmm. I really thought I was gonna fucking vomit all over the place when I played that.
Yeah, anything with like super fast motion. Like there was a game that I don't remember at the time. I played a demo of it, but it was kind of like the best way I can describe it is like roller skating Splatoon. Like it was like you were roller skating like super fast, but like you could you like threw like paint out, and then like you were sliding on your paint, and they like claimed that they had figured out how to do like fast motion VR and not make you sick. And I played like a 10-minute demo and I almost threw up. It's like
the one thing I was most excited about, I've got the VR. Like my girlfriend was kind enough to get that for me for I think my birthday. So I went and I bought like the best entry level steering wheel, pedals, and shifter. And I set it all up one day, put the headset on. I was driving a Japanese Mazda Miata, so I put the shifter over on the left-hand side like it should be. And I start driving, and I'm like, this is cool. And then I'm like, I hit the gas, and I like my body instantly does this, even though the car doesn't do it. And then I hit the brakes, and like because my body doesn't do it, I like make myself do it, and I was like, oh no, I like ripped the headset off. I'm like, I just couldn't, I could not do it. Like the first turn I did, I was like, I'm gonna fucking throw up. I need to like force myself to sit in there a little longer to get used to it, but I was just instantly like, man, I'm still gonna play Gran Turismo at some point with the steering wheel, just probably not with the headset on. But man, it's just like now I get it. Now I see why people spend $10,000 and build that like whole hydraulic setup with the fucking, the steering wheel and it actually reacts to what's happening. You hit the brakes and it leans forward.
Yeah, that's it.
I can't
you
afford.
Want to fight nausea? You spend $10,000.
Yeah, I can't afford that yet. So yeah, Half-Life Alyx. We watched the trailer last week. It looks cool, but I don't know if I'm gonna spend $1,000 to play it.
Yeah, I'd have to get a new
definitely
PC,
not.
so that's out of the question.
Release it on PSVR, and we'll talk.
I totally would have, but I need it before Christmas, so I guess.
Damn.
Those guys must not like money. At least they don't like
sure.
yours.
Yeah,
Um,
not this time.
Speaking of PlayStations, did you guys look at the link for the PS5 dev kit that was spotted in the wild
I did.
with the DualShock 5 controller sitting right next to it? Do you think it's real?
I don't. Like the picture of that box has been like going around, like not that exact picture, but like that thing has been on the internet for like
I've seen-
2 years now.
Yeah, I've
Like
seen.
it's I don't know.
I don't like.
I don't know what it is, but
I don't like how it looks like that.
or if that
Yeah.
is it, that's definitely like a dev specific. This isn't the final product or any way, shape, or form close. Like
Right.
it's just so weird looking that like I don't think they do that.
They're like, let's make it ugly as sin, so nobody
Yeah.
believes that this is real.
Let's make it a 5, man.
Yeah,
That's
like
all
it's
I'm
just so
saying.
convenient.
Oh.
Like, oh, it's a V for 5.
It's a V for
It's like,
5.
no.
Everybody
It's great.
knows that the V in PSV stands for Vita. You fucking
Not anymore,
you
man.
fucking plebes.
Stands for PS5.
So if I was gonna scrutinize this picture, I would be paying closer attention to the two pieces of hardware behind the right dev kit and the PC that's underneath the table. Like, what is all that shit? You know, why does it look like nothing is, I don't know, plugged in or...
Yeah,
It's so
I don't know.
stupid. This whole thing is dumb.
Um,
And like really, like to be honest, you can't like. There's not because people were making a bigger deal about the controllers than the actual thing. So like I said, that this like concept has been out there for a long time, but like you can't even really tell. Like that could be a DualShock 4. It
Yeah.
doesn't like.
Yeah.
I mean,
I don't know. I hate how it looks. But
yes,
no.
it definitely looks ugly as sin.
But I've seen some ugly dev kits for systems that, you know, I'm pretty sure the one for the GameCube was, it just looked like a big giant computer almost.
Mhm.
So it's so dumb. Like, why would you make that for your dev kit? Why not just make it in a PC case? Then
Right.
nobody knows what it is.
that's another thing. Like, look how big those are. That's fucking huge. There's no way that's like a final product. That's so big.
Yeah, who's gonna buy that and put that on their
Yeah, but-
entertainment center? Not no one.
I mean, what they're trying to get out of it, though, and like you look at the shape and stuff, and these are all vents. That's like trying to get maximum cooling out of this thing
There's like this
for
weird
what
like
they're trying to do with it.
screen on the front that has like shit on it.
Oh yeah,
I
and
don't
that's
know.
the other thing that somebody zoomed in on that and said, "Wait, there's also a PS4 and PS4 Pro dev kit in the back. Oh, so that's what that other shit is behind it. PS4 dev kits, which actually look kind of cool." I'm on Twitter. Are you guys seeing it on Twitter?
Yeah, that's where I am too.
You see that one that says directly underneath it says Demon Souls remake prototype in line 2.
But it's like
Does it though? Does it say
I
that?
can't tell. That's a highly rumored thing that's supposed to be happening. So it's like an easy layup there. Like
Yeah. Exactly.
I don't know.
Yeah, I can't make out what that says. So
Oh, I'm looking at these comments and it says DualShock 5 looks identical to DualShock 4. Very disappointing. And I would say no. The DualShock 4 is a great controller. I love it.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not reading too much into this. Even if it is, I think that it's clearly like just a dev kit. I don't think the final product looks anything.
Oh yeah, no, definitely not. I'm just wondering why put that much effort into making your dev kit look like that monstrosity when the PS4 dev kit behind it is actually kind of elegant and it's just a dev kit.
Yeah.
yeah,
Now, it could be
Oh.
meant to psych people out, but here's the bottom line, I guess, what it comes down to is just like you just said, Pop, whether it's real or not, here, spoiler alert, PS5 dev kits do exist and developers have them. Otherwise, there would be no games when that thing comes out next year. They've had them for
Right.
some time.
I'm pretty sure they like announced last year in like February, whenever they like officially announced that they're making the PlayStation 5, but they didn't call it the PlayStation 5 at that point. Like, I'm pretty sure then they said that there was dev. Like, I think that's why they did it, was like they were sending dev kits out then, and were like, well, we don't want this to leak, so like we're just gonna come out and say it now.
So here it is.
Right.
So yeah, I don't know.
Okay, so
What if it is though? What if that's the PlayStation 5 right there?
If that's it, final version.
then
Right
I guess
That'd be crazy.
that would change my definitive I'm buying one day one, because I'll be like, oh, no, I'm not buying that monstrosity.
It reminds me
Could
of
you
like, the
imagine?
original Xbox, like
The
30-pound, just like brick.
The PlayStation school bus fire. That's what it looks like.
Could you imagine if that was final design and the first things that you're getting from third-party people, new PlayStation 5 cases to put your PlayStation guts inside of?
Oh man, we need to jump on. We should actually jump on that market right now, just in case.
Just in case.
Holy shit!
We don't know anything about it, but we know we need a big plastic box with lots of fans on it.
Yeah, I like that idea. Even if it sucks, you could get people to buy that, which isn't
Yeah.
really good business, but that's the world we live in.
But it's business.
Okay, so speaking of next generation, Xbox has got an interesting claim that when the Scarlet comes out, they're going to be focusing on first-party titles and releasing, they said, according to this article from comicbook.com, we feel really good heading into 2020. We've got a goal of being able to deliver a game roughly every 3 to 4 months. And that's from, this guy's name is Booty. Matt Booty.
Matt
Greatest
Booty.
name of all time.
He's the head of Xbox Game Studios. Matt Booty. And it's spelled Booty, in case you guys were wondering how hilarious it is. It's that
It's
hilarious.
hilarious. It is.
I mean, it's kind of cool. I wish my name was Booty. Mark
Yeah.
Booty. It's about to be.
No, I think I'm good with that.
You don't want to be
Yeah.
Mike Booty?
I don't want to be Mr. Booty.
Mr. Booty.
You know,
Pop.
it takes away all the
Pop.
all the power out of the Mister.
Pop that booty maker.
Pop that booty maker.
That'd be great.
So,
Okay.
am I getting the gist of this beginning here that they are trying to focus on getting first-party titles because PlayStation's crushing it with
Well-
their exclusives?
When you look at that list, God of War, Uncharted, Bloodborne, The Last of Us, Death Stranding, Spider-Man, Ghost of Tsushima, and more.
Yeah, like that doesn't even have Horizon to me is like should be
Horizon.
on that list.
Is
like-
Days Gone exclusive?
Yeah.
Yeah.
People, that was like a kind
Okay.
of, I haven't played it, but that was a mixed reviewed one.
Yeah, but what else you got?
I mean,
Going back, everything on the PSVR.
Yeah.
to me, the
No,
thing,
no,
to me,
no,
I don't know.
No.
no. There's
Like the
third-party
Yakuza-
stuff on VR.
The Yakuza
PS4.
games
well,
are exclusive to PlayStation
Oh yeah.
when they come out, and then also Persona. The
Mhm.
numbered Persona games are also
And-
exclusive to.
And doesn't Blue Point Games, the one that's doing all those remakes of stuff,
Yeah,
aren't
Yeah,
they a
they're-
Sony studio?
they're not a Sony studio, but they've only done Sony
Properties.
exclusive.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Because
that's why people are very like Demon Souls remake. That's like the big rumor for them.
But isn't Blue Point actually working on an original first party
so-
game for PS5?
so they
It's
said
going to be
that-
exclusive.
So they said that they're like this was right after uh what's the game that Bluepoint just did? Shadow of the Colossus. It was right after that the CEO came out and said that they had one more remake project that they were doing that was the biggest in scale they've ever done. And then after that they were going to like get away from doing the remakes and go into doing like original IP. And so like the rumor is that they're doing a Dark Souls or a Demon Souls remake, and that it will launch with the PS5. I think they actually said the last time they talked about the PS5, I think they said that Bluepoint would have a game like ready at the launch. So that's like the rumor that it's going to be that.
That would make sense then.
I mean, the article goes on to say here that it makes sense if this is really what Microsoft is trying to do. It makes sense that they've been grabbing up studios.
Yeah, they've bought a bunch.
Ninja Theory, Double Fine, and Obsidian.
Yeah, they didn't own, like, I think it was not last E3, but the E3 before that they announced they bought like I think 8 studios in total. Like they didn't own the people that did the Forza games. I think they're Playground Studio. Like they bought them, so they like officially own them. I think they bought the Cuphead studio as well.
They've got
the
Rare.
Ori studio they got.
Rare.
Yeah, Rare. See, my thing is like saying like a game every 4 months. Like, I don't know that that's like a good thing. Like,
well, I think
because if we're pushing out games every 4 months, but they're not good, like they have been on the X. Like,
but that's the thing. If you
Xbox
have 10 or 12 studios and you can plan it well enough, then you could say that each game will be finishing up, every 1.5 to 2 years, be finishing up a game. If they stagger it properly, then yeah, every 4 to 6 months you could see a new title, from a first party developer.
Yeah.
Well, and really too, like if you think about it, it's kind of like 3 games because it's like, so Forza and Forza Horizon offset every year. Mm-hmm. So it's like a yearly game for them. So it's like right there, you already have one every year.
Yep.
So then it's like they only have to fill that slot in 3 more times. But I don't know. To me, it's like I think the thing that PlayStation has gotten right is like, and it started, and this is where I feel like Xbox has kind of like a long road ahead of them. Is that like all the games that we're getting now on the PlayStation 4 that are good, like the groundwork was laid out for them with the PlayStation 3, right? Like you had 3 Uncharted games, The Last of Us, God of War 3, and whatever the other one was that nobody cares about.
Ascension? Yeah.
Yeah. You had like the infamous games that were
1 and 2.
1 and 2. Like it's like they laid, and those games, maybe people didn't think they were great or whatever, but like I feel like they laid the groundwork of like we're just going to focus on first party.
Yeah, they all made their mark.
Finally, it's paid off now, where it's
right.
like you're getting these just slam dunks every time they come out with games, and it's like, to me, Xbox hasn't done that. Like,
yeah, you get Gears, you get Halo, and you get
and Forza. Like,
and Forza.
That's really the only like notable things that they've put out on the Xbox One the entire generation.
And when you're talking about
everything else has been terrible.
You're talking about gamers as a community, right? A lot of people who maybe have a PlayStation but not an Xbox, I feel like a good chunk of them do have a PC, right?
Yeah.
So a lot of those games you could play on your PC as well. And it kind of begs the question, like, well, I don't know. That's kind of smart. You don't want to compete against yourself, but at the same time, like, you want to sell this game. So, it's exclusive to Xbox, but is it? Is it exclusive?
Exactly. Like, and also, too, I think there's this thing where, like, if I'm somebody, like, obviously I'm like a PlayStation fanboy, so like
You're just a PlayStation fan.
Yeah, well, but it's like even if you just look at like the way that I feel like the PlayStation 3 and the Xbox 360 kind of shaped out was like clearly the Xbox 360 killed PlayStation 3 in that generation. Like PlayStation 3 ended up catching up in sales, but like
Yeah, out the
the
gate
360 was
it was
the console for
to
that
have.
generation.
Yeah. Not for me,
going
but
into yeah, me either. But going into the Xbox One and the PlayStation 4, it was kind of like an even playing field there. And then Xbox fucked up at the beginning, and PlayStation took it away. But like,
yeah, they
feel
didn't
like
they come out
it's-
talking about TV or some dumb shit?
Yeah, they tried to make it into this like universal thing, and like
Entertainment
wanted
hub.
share
universal
games.
media.
Everything was gonna be online. Like
Yes, everything's online. You can't buy
Yeah.
used games, and it
Oh,
comes
yeah.
with a Kinect that listens to you all the time.
Yeah.
like PlayStation had that like the greatest
You're gonna
E3
love it.
conference of all time, where they fucking put up a video like, "This is how you share games on the PlayStation 4," and it was just Shuei Yoshida just handing over a game
Yeah.
to like somebody. It was like, "That's how you share games on the PlayStation 4."
Burn.
Amazing.
Yeah, it's
But
funny.
I feel like the PlayStation has such an advantage going into this generation because it's like all of those good games that you played are getting sequels, right? Like there's going to be a second God of War, there's going to be a second Horizon, there's going to be Bloodborne 2, right? Like there's all these games that you're going to get sequels for, and so it's like if you look at the options, like, oh, I'm getting Halo again, and probably another Gears, and more Forza, but like there's nothing there. There's nothing else there to grab you. Like I feel like as long as PlayStation doesn't fuck up with the price, like they should like keep on the path that they're going of just selling a shit ton of exclusives.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like
because-
PlayStation games.
Spider-Man 2 is coming. Like,
Ooh. Ooh.
you're getting all these games that it's like they were so good. It's the reason why people bought PlayStation 4s. You're getting those games again
Titan.
on the PlayStation 5. Like,
Yeah. I mean, look, I think this next generation for PlayStation really is going to come down to how they execute this backwards compatibility. I don't know why, but a piece of me is still hoping that they're going to come out and be like, PlayStation 5 plays PlayStation 1, PlayStation 2, PlayStation 3, PlayStation 4. Play all your PlayStation games on PlayStation 5. It's going to be like, you mean to tell me I could put this 20-something-year-old disc into this brand new machine and it's going to work? That would.
And that's
freak
also
out
why
if
it's
they
a and that's also why it's a foot thick and shaped like a giant V.
Yeah. It actually has a PlayStation 1 through 4 inside of it. Like,
Yeah. There's just a tiny little guy inside that looks at the disc and puts it in the right console and
Yeah.
plugs it
you
in.
use the touchscreen to pick what
all of them turn on at the same time and share the same disk drive, like a old CD changer in your
Yeah.
Ford
Yeah.
Ford Taurus 1994
Yep.
Eddie Bauer edition. Yeah, those
Yep.
came with 5 disc changers in the trunk, and yeah,
And it makes that super loud PlayStation startup noise with every single one.
yeah, and then then it catches on fire,
Yeah.
and then you go, wow, that was
costs $8.99.
yeah, and it was totally worth it. Dude, I spent $900 on my new PS5. I brought it home. I put in Cool Borders 2 for PS1 into that motherfucker. It caught on fire, blew up, and every second of it was amazing.
Fucking
PlayStation
amazing.
fanboy.
Went straight from Cool Borders to Spider-Man 2.
I'm telling
Just
you,
like that.
I'm getting in front of the line for the PS5, and I'm gonna take it outside and fucking blow it up with an M80 in front of everybody. Like, fuck you guys. I'm gonna be that guy this next console generation.
There we go.
Um,
Also coming from the guy who's gonna get all the pre-orders and fucking put one up on eBay to make sure it gets paid for.
I should actually
You should.
for once in my
I
life.
say the same thing every time, and I don't.
There's also a sidetrack, but there's a SOCOM rumor going around.
I could
that
fuck with
is
SOCOM again.
Going to launch with the PS5.
I had fun with SOCOM.
I could go with
PS
SOCOM.
PS2.
Yeah, SOCOM 2. Great game.
Titan says, I think the big difference between games now and games even a decade ago is now the entire industry, the pro gaming, the devs. So
Your mic's cutting out.
My mic?
Oh,
Sorry.
Yeah.
Titan says, I think the big difference between games now and games a decade ago, the entire industry, the pro gaming, the devs, it's all overly corporation controlled. You guys remember games used to be fucking expensive and game and console companies were going under all the time. I'm not saying all the current games aren't passion projects, but for the most part, games aren't games, they're products now. How much money can we make off your dopamine receptors? That's a very good point.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, you're not wrong. And that's why I think it really comes down to the first-party devs.
Yeah.
Like, they want to make money just as much as the next guy, but they've got the backing behind them to, like, put out a really good project from people who give a shit. And you know, you got some companies that still do that, and even though it doesn't pay off as much, you know, they put out the good product anyway. And then a lot of companies that put out shit and you just buy, like, I don't know, look, I don't understand Pokemon, right? I don't get it, but I understand that people love it and they grew up with the franchise. But I look at that new game and I'm like, this looks like dog shit. Like, it's 2019. This game looks like shit. I get it. It doesn't need to look great to play great. But why even put any good graphics at all? Like, why even try if that's what you're like? It just, I don't know. It's supposed to look like the show, right? Like, look at Cuphead. Look what they did with Cuphead. Like, make it look like the fucking show then. Draw it like the show. If you're going to make it look like that.
I completely agree with you. I think that they just tried to like rush out that game because it's like Switch, we got to get a new Pokemon game out, and they tried to rush it out, and so they like made up-res 3DS graphics, like, because that's what it looks like. It's not great.
Like, I'm not into anime really at all, but you see like the Dragon Ball Z game, that looks like you're playing an episode of Dragon Ball Z. That actually looks better than the show. Cuphead looks like a 1940s fucking cartoon.
Yeah.
You know? These games...
Looks great.
Yeah, and you guys, you're the Pokemon company.
Yeah.
Like, you've got more money than God, and that's what you put out? It makes me feel like these guys, they created Pokemon when it was cards, and they just maintain control, but they don't know shit about making video games. So they're just like, it's like the card game, except in a game. But now people expect a little more out of it. And I don't know.
Yeah.
That's the problem is like so right off the bat, like Pokemon was great. And then they made new Pokemon games. And it was like, okay, sure. What's new? Well, we got new Pokemon. And now you can go day and night. And now you can learn all these other things. And soon enough, now you can like create Pokemon by bringing them to the daycare and shit like that. And they start adding all these little things, but like at some point, what do you add that's like actually going to be worth anything? Like, they're shiny now? Is that it?
Well, see, that's what people were thinking, like with this new one, since it was on the Switch. There's like more processing power there, and they had like, I kind of wanted like a Breath of the Wild Pokemon game. Like,
that would be cool.
That would be a cool idea.
I'd go out into a field. There's fucking lush grass everywhere, and I fucking catch a Pokemon. And
Right.
It's like,
Right.
to me,
I mean,
that was
they
the
gave you-
disappointing part, that it wasn't that.
They gave you the grass and they gave you the Pokemon. They just didn't give you Breath of the Wild.
Yeah.
Motherfuckers. Titan makes a good point. All the money that they make when the game first releases. And so as long as it looks good and has the hype train backing it up, then they're going to get paid regardless. And, you know, we're the ones that, it's just like anything. You vote with your dollar. And that's why, you know, there's a lot of games that what did I buy?
But that's the difference between like the next Pokemon game that comes out and Grand Theft Auto 5 being on the list month after month for best sales.
Yeah. Well, I mean, but what Titan's talking about is like the good games, right? Like, I paid full price for God of War and for Horizon, and both those games you could get for $10 today or
Crazy.
yesterday. Yeah. And I'm just like, that's amazing for somebody who's just getting a PS4. Like, you see that PS4 Pro or bundle?
Yeah, with the Last
1
of Us,
terabyte.
God of War, and Spider-Man.
Yeah, The
Dude,
Last of Us, God of War, and Spider-Man, and a 1 terabyte PS4
200.
Pro for $200. Like,
That's
I almost want to go buy it.
insane. I thought about it too. I was like, I might buy this just cause.
I have all 3 of these
Where
games
was that?
It's
everywhere.
everywhere. Like, I think you can still get it now.
Really?
Like, I'm pretty sure
Damn.
that's just like probably until Cyber Monday. Like, that's just the price for the PlayStation 4 everywhere.
Mike,
Oh, I didn't even
Mike, you want to buy it? Because I'll buy my white PS4 back from you, and then you could take that money and put it towards that bundle.
I might just have to think about that.
Well, there you go. Think about it.
I'm sure the missus would love to see another PlayStation show up at the house.
Well, no, she'll see one leave and another one come back. Yeah,
Right. Mhm.
yeah. So it's cool. I'm just gonna. I want that one so I can put it in the box and not touch it again. Um. People have a collector mentality these days about games. They just buy it to have it half the time. I'm guilty of that, but that's what I was about to say. I paid full price for God of War and Horizon, and now they're so cheap. But I don't even care because those experiences are worth the $60 a piece to me. But that Pokemon game, it's never gonna drop down in price, and I think it looks like dog shit.
But I mean, to be fair though, to some people, like $60 for that game, the first day is worth it, right?
So,
Like,
you know how many people probably bought both versions, and they're not even that different.
yeah, just for like a handful of different Pokemon. I think I saw something that said like in the first weekend, it was the best-selling Pokemon game of all time.
Yeah, well, here's the thing, the problem I have with that. For as many people as there were that bought both copies, there were a lot of people who didn't buy both copies. They just bought one. So you're going to release a game that's technically 2 different games, but it's the same game for the most part, and you're going to count the sales as one game. That's like Tetris counting all the sales of every Tetris game when, like, some games is 4-player Tetris, some games is Tetris in VR, some games is Tetris with a twist, you know what I mean? So some games are Tetris on your phone. Like, when you download the free Tetris on your phone, do they count that as a sale? You know, it's almost like bullshit. Tetris Attack for SNES. Great game.
Oh yeah.
With the Yoshi characters. I don't remember Yoshi characters. I had that game on my jailbroken PSP.
That's what PSPs were good for.
Super Nintendo games?
Yes.
Yeah, that and Advent Children. And Dissidia. Those are cool.
Nice.
So, what's this Fortnite DreamHack cheating?
Oh,
Yeah, what
so-
is this?
Yeah, like you guys know what DreamHack is,
No.
right? Okay, so DreamHack is this like convention thing, I guess, that basically they hold a bunch of like esports tournaments at. I think they do a lot of charity work, but like not 100% positive. But this one's in Sweden, and they were having a $250,000 Fortnite tournament, and I guess the way DreamHack works is you don't have to be like there's no like pre-qualifications for getting in the tournament. It's kind of like if you're there and you get on a list, they put you in type thing. So like kind of anybody can join.
Okay.
And so this was like a really weird one where it's like you had to bring your own PC to like play in the Fortnite tournament, which is kind of strange. And like there's no like we're gonna check to see if you have anything. And apparently like 2 players that got into the like finals of the tournament were caught because it was a solo tournament. And the way Fortnite works, right? It's 1 versus 99. But these 2 players got caught teaming, so they were like, somebody went back and watched the VODs of the tournament and was like, why are they not shooting at each other? They're in the same room together, like giving each other guns and doing all this stuff. And it's like the second or third time that it's happened in a Fortnite tournament where like players have been caught cheating, like in a tournament worth hundreds of thousands of dollars. And I just think it's like, I like the idea. I guess the reason I put this up here was not so much this specific event, but it's like, I like the idea of having like, here's a tournament that anybody can get into. You just have to showcase your skills, right? It's an online thing. If you qualify, you're in. But also, you open yourself up to, this stuff.
Right. Yeah. It's. So
Which,
wait.
like, I don't know. I don't think I've like ever heard of another esports like thing where like in the same year multiple people have been caught cheating at like these huge tournaments.
Wait, this is the kid right here that they're showing?
I don't think they showed like the two kids that got caught cheating. I don't think were known. They're like,
Is his name Benji Fishy?
that's the kid who like.
Oh, he's the one who exposed them.
Yeah, he's a really like he's a top tier Fortnite player and was like, which also he's like 14 or something, which is crazy. But like, he was the one that went back on his stream with like thousands of people. And
So
was like,
so let me
why
get
are
this
these
straight.
guys cheating?
These guys were sitting next to each other,
No,
Oh.
they weren't sitting next to each other.
but they were
like,
working together in game.
Yeah,
and what?
it
Under
was
the
like-
premise that like let's both work together and become the last two, and then like or if one of
Yeah,
us
so,
wins,
like-
we'll split the money.
Yeah, like we'll if we end up placing first and second, like we're gonna take home $400,000.
Jesus
we'll just
Christ.
split it 200 each or something. Like,
Douchebags. Well, I hope they get banned from the game forever.
yeah.
Really, like
Um,
make an example out of those motherfuckers. I know that has nothing to do with Fortnite itself, the company, but like
Yeah.
they should never be allowed to compete in anything ever.
No, I completely agree.
Video games
Which
are
is, like,
not.
which is a weird thing because, like, Fortnite hasn't had the best track record of doing that. Like, the last kid that got caught doing the same exact thing for, like, it was qualifiers to get into a tournament, got caught cheating and they banned him for 2 weeks, but the qualifiers were 4 weeks long. So he got banned for 2 weeks, came back and qualified, and then got to go play in this tournament that he got
Wow.
caught cheating to get into. So like
Wow.
I don't know what they do, but yeah, like super sketchy.
I'm kind of with Titan here. He's wondering why the tournament is worth that much, but I mean, I understand that it's a huge
Fortnite
is huge, but like
billions of dollars.
but how much if they're 250,000 for this event, how do they make that much off of that event? Like enough to
No,
give
this
up.
is so Fortnite funds all these tournaments.
Oh,
like
so,
last-
so they're just doing it to raise more awareness of their
Yeah,
game.
like so here's the thing, right? Is like Fortnite makes so much money, like that
They're just giving some back to the
last
community.
year they were like, hey, this year we're going to give away like I think it was $100 million in prize pool money. So they just fund every single tournament. So the prize pool is always huge. So you get pros continuing to play the game, and then by them playing the game, they stream it. People watch it, so they want to play.
Makes sense.
The World Cup that they did a couple months ago, if you qualified, you were guaranteed in the solos. If you qualified, you were guaranteed $40,000. That was the minimum. You could finish last place, and you got $40,000.
This says Fortnite's creator made $7 billion this year.
Yeah,
Fortnite reportedly generates $2.5 million a day in revenue,
yeah, it's insane how much money they make, and
which
it's a free game.
and so
Wow.
so they made
It's all
seven
skins.
they made $7 billion this year. 3 billion of which was profits.
Yeah,
$3 billion profit.
Like,
That's crazy that they spend $4 billion to operate every year.
Well, like a report came out a while ago that was talking about the work conditions at Epic, and it was like basically they're spending that much money because they update the game so much that like they're forced to pay like all of their employees overtime because they can't hire people fast enough to work on the game. It's like they're hiring everybody and it's not enough, so they're like, we'll just give you whatever amount of money you want to just stay and keep working on the game.
that's nuts.
But it's making them so much money that it's like kind of worth it.
The guy
Right.
looks like the biggest dork. Tim Sweeney,
Yeah.
founder and CEO of Fortnite and Fortnite developer Epic Games. Just Looks like he looks like Dwight Schrute from The Office. Yeah. Anybody? No. Okay. That's insane. How much money they make. That's the real story. That's the story every day.
Yeah, it's
How much
all off
Fortnite
skins and emotes.
I mean, do you think? I mean, one day though, right? Fortnite's gonna go away. Like, it just
I don't
It
think
has
so.
to.
you don't.
No,
like.
it's
So I think it's like that would be like me when Overwatch came out saying one day Overwatch is going to
No. I'm not saying like it'll
oh,
go.
but it will.
I'm not saying it will go away like permanently. I'm saying remember when Halo was like on top of the world? It still
Yeah.
exists, but it's not breaking any new ground anymore. Like somebody's gonna
No.
come out with the next big thing, and nobody's gonna care about Fortnite one. I mean, I don't mean nobody, but like it's
Yeah.
not gonna be the, $3 billion in revenue every year, like
I
in
think
profit
they
every
realized
year.
that. That's why they started the Epic Game Store to kind of have that like back end of like
Yeah.
if Fortnite ever ends up dying, like we have this other source of revenue. But like I said, I think it all comes back to like because they're pumping so much money into the tournaments and anybody can get in the tournaments, right? It's just based off of how good you are at the game.
Yeah, and I'm not even.
As long as the prize money's there, they're going to keep.
Yeah, you're right. I'm not being a hater. I'm just saying like all good things must come to an end, but maybe they don't, I just
Yeah.
I feel like nothing else has really done this before. So maybe, I don't know, maybe it's here to stay. Maybe it'll be here for like the next 20 years, maybe it'll be
It's
gone
on like
in a
literally
year.
every platform that you can think of, right?
Yeah. It's
Mobile, PC, PlayStation, Xbox, Switch. You can cross play, which is like
yeah.
they started that, right? Like that's
Yeah.
unheard of.
They pioneered that shit.
Right, but if
it's
you
a
can
free
reach
game.
that far, that fast, and that many people, you really think it's gonna last as long?
Well, like I said, they've made so much money that they can do like. So I play a lot of Fortnite, right? They like at the beginning of October, they came out with like season 2 of Fortnite, and they like had a
Mhm.
whole new map and everything. The marketing that they put into like doing season 2 of Fortnite is they probably put more money into marketing that than like other games do for their entire game, like, and they did it in a weekend. Like I think they'll last because of how much money they put back into the game. Like,
Yeah, you got a good point. Mike, have you ever played a match of Fortnite?
I have.
Yeah?
I've played 3, I think.
Do you like it?
in my entire. I mean, I enjoy the battle royale genre of gaming.
Yeah.
I really liked PUBG because it felt a lot more realistic, but I also enjoyed Fortnite because it's a little bit more cartoony, so it'll have that staying power in 10 years when the realistic look of PUBG is not at all realistic anymore.
Right.
We could still play Fortnite and be like, "Oh, it's still a fun cartoon," but I hate the building. I can't get over it.
yeah,
Just
So
the way that it changes how you play that game is too drastic for me in the end, or like in top tier play.
I've still yet to try it on anything, but I think maybe I'll. What do you play on, Pop? Switch?
I play on PC.
Oh, PC.
I mean, I've played on Switch before too.
I might get it for the Switch just so I could like lay in bed and try it after this. Fuck it.
Yeah, also, another thing that they do, you don't even have to have the online for any of the consoles to play it. So you don't have to have like PSN to play for
Oh, right.
Yep.
or
even-
Switch Online or whatever.
Really? Even for Nintendo?
Yeah.
That's interesting. Well, yeah. So those two fucking douchebags got caught cheating, and that's the last thing we got on the list. But I don't know. I'm still feeling all right. You guys got anything on your mind,
I'm gonna go grab a water real quick.
dude? What the fuck? No, I'm just kidding.
I know.
So unprofessional. God. So, according to the internet,
Yeah.
as far as I can see anyway, those PS Pro bundles are pretty much all gone.
Oh, really?
Yeah. The one that I saw that you guys were talking about with God of War, Last of Us, and Horizon,
Mm-hmm.
Are in-store only from GameStop, and then online from a couple other places, but they're all sold out.
Yeah, that deal went live like on Monday.
Did it?
Yeah, like it was a Black Friday thing, but like not Black Friday because it started way before. I don't
Week
know.
of Black Friday?
Yeah.
Yeah. They do also have on here, though, what they're calling a PlayStation 4 Essential Blast from the Past System Bundle Kit.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, eat all those words, huh? And this is just a regular PlayStation 500 gig, but it also comes with Last of Us Remastered,
Booty machine.
Uncharted 4,
Yeah.
God of War, and Ratchet and Clank.
That's,
So then you're getting 4 games, and it's still $200. So
Yeah.
take the system right out of it. I mean, you're getting 4 $50 games, which is still less than they were brand new.
Yeah, I think it's a great time if you don't have a PS4 to get into it. And, you know, there's so much to play.
Yeah.
And, you know,
They do have a
most-
lot of fantastic exclusives on this generation.
most people want to play online, so you get your PlayStation Plus and you get 2 free games a month. By the way, have the games for December been announced yet?
Yeah, it was oh, what was it? I don't remember. They were announced.
Cool.
People were kind of disappointed, I feel like, but I don't know why. Because I thought the games like weren't bad.
Because the internet.
It looks like December will be Titanfall 2
Titanfall 2, yeah.
and
Which is a really good
Okay.
game if people haven't played it. Like Titanfall 2 story, fantastic.
and Monster Energy Supercross, the official video game.
Oh, dude.
That looks like it was ported from a fucking Kindle Fire. But on the PlayStation blog, oh yeah, there's another. Oh, DualShock 4 controllers are $40 right now.
Yeah. I thought about
There's a
getting the-
PSVR bundle with 5 fucking games. Did you see that one?
200, right?
$200. You
For
get
$200?
you get PSVR, you get Resident Evil 7, you get oh fuck man, there was so many games, good games with it. Ah shit. Whatever, I don't have it. But what I do have here is on tomsguide.com a list of the best Cyber Monday deals for 2019. And there's some good shit. There's some good shit on there. I'm just blasting through here. You get a Xbox One S all digital for $150, which I was just over me and Claire. We were over a friend Pete's house, and he's a gamer, and he was like, "Yeah, that's what that thing should cost," and he's not wrong. I mean, digital only, but if you're gaming on a budget, $150 for a brand spanking new Xbox is not that
That's
bad.
pretty good.
We got the Xbox One X with the new Star Wars game for $350. So, I mean, that's a $500 console.
And like a $60 game that just came out.
Right.
Yeah.
A lot of good shit. Oh, here's Hulu. Instead of $6 a month, you get it for $2 a month. It's an interesting deal.
Ooh, Nintendo Switch Lite.
$10 off.
$199. Yeah.
Yeah, $199 marked
10
down from $210.
$10 is a hefty discount for Nintendo.
Why was it listed at $210 to begin with?
Oh, you mean the Nintendo Switch that doesn't switch?
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
just handheld only?
Oh, I guess it's a bundle, so it comes with a carrying case as well. That's why it was $210.
So
Uh,
here's an interesting deal. A 43-inch JVC 4K Roku TV was $250, now $199. 43-inch, not bad, not too shabby. You could get the 65-inch for $420, also not bad.
I
Then
really thought about buying a new TV.
then the 4K Roku Element 70-inch $530. I mean, Trying to buy a big ass TV for cheap. There's one.
Yeah.
A lot of TV deals.
I was looking at what is it, like a 55 TCL
Yep.
for like 300 or something like that?
That's a great TV.
Yeah.
Some laptop deals, some headphone deals, some smart home deals. Wow. I'm about to buy the smart lock for $80 at Amazon. Switch Lite, free $25 Amazon credit. Woohoo.
Woo!
Gray Joy-Cons, $59 for the pair, down from $80. It's $20 off. That's like what they should cost.
Yeah.
Get the Xbox One and the DualShock 4 for $40. Great deal. Yeah, so that's that list. Some good shit. There's lots of other stuff on there too, but
I know, Mark, you said that you went to like a local gaming store for like yesterday.
oh yeah, Retro Games Plus.
What did they have going on? Did you get anything?
They had all kinds of shit, but I utilized their buy one get one free PS2 deals and got those too. Did you see my Instagram?
I haven't. No.
Oh, I got Marvel vs. Capcom 2 for PS2, which is not a unicorn, but it's an uncommon game.
Yeah.
And then Mr. Mosquito, which is also an uncommon game. But yeah,
I really hope you can stream some of that, Mr. Mosquito.
I'm going to. That's my plan. Maybe Monday.
Awesome.
Retro Games Plus. I just want to see because.
I went out to the flea market today.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it was very disappointing.
Yeah. So,
I thought I was gonna get some Black Friday flea market deals.
c'est la vie. Yeah, this doesn't give me the list of their Black Friday shit, but they did have some good deals going on in there. And they had 2 sets of deals, so it was like they opened at 11, so from 11 to 4 they had 1 set of Black Friday deals. And then from 4 to close they had a whole different set of Black Friday deals. But I think it lasts the whole weekend.
Yeah.
It's crazy because when I lived in the town that I grew up in, Retro Games Plus was a 25-minute or 20-minute drive up the road. Then when I moved to where I was living before here, there was another store that was also 20 minutes down the road in the town called Orange. And now that I'm at where I'm at now, the other location is like 20 minutes down the road. I've just always lived really close to one of those stores.
Yeah.
It's a place to be. I mean, if you're willing to pay retail for the games that, you don't really see too often. And this guy hooked it up too. Marvel vs. Capcom didn't have a manual, so he's like, "Oh, I'll give you a $10 store credit." I'm like, sweet.
Nice.
Well, the only manual that's on eBay right now, the guy wants $28 plus $8 shipping for a PS2 manual. I'm like, $8 shipping? You put it in a fucking envelope, you piece of shit. You're gonna ship that to me in a crate?
Yes.
Hey man,
You have to bust out the hammer and crack that thing open.
I feel like we're winded down here, but we're right at the 2-hour mark.
Perfect.
What do you think? I'm
I think
actually.
that sounds like.
I think I'm gonna shut the stream down, and then but stay on for a few minutes if you guys are into it to discuss future episodes.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So that was fun. We actually had some people in here checking it out. Titan, thanks for all your contributions, and Herb Ferguson, thanks for subscribing to the channel. Hope you're ready to do it again when we make the actual podcast channel. Nah, Titan, you can hop in the Discord if you want, but I'll have to add you if you want to get in on the convo. We're not shutting you out, man. But we'll be back next time, 10 p.m. Eastern, for our fun little podcast. Oh, he said, yeah, sure. How do I do it? Well, let me end it, and then I'll send it in the chat. Oh, yeah, right on. Cool. All right. So for Killer Metal Mike and Pop That Baby Maker, I am Mark Money, and this is our new podcast. This was a good one. We just kept going for 2 hours straight. Oh, except when Pop had to pee.
In the last.
Yeah.
It's gonna happen.
The only.
The last ever third episode 1.
Yes.
Hey, Herb Ferguson. Herb Ferguson. Herbert Ferguson.
Herbert.
Talk to you guys next time. Next
Yep.
Saturday. All right.
Peace.
Be quiet for a minute. Later.